What's up, guys? We are live. We are about 2 minutes late, but that's not a big deal. We have UFC Vegas 5 this Saturday night. We got a pretty good card. Edmen Shabazian versus Derek Brunson. I'm really intrigued in that fight. There's a lot of good fights. There was a fight that got scrapped with Jamal Emmers versus how do you pronounce his name?
Timur Valiev.
Timur Valiev. But yeah, I mean, we both didn't take the new guy, but we'll talk about it a little bit. Kelvin, my co-host, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? I'm pumped. This is a good card. I'm glad they got a opponent for Jamal Emmers. I mean, obviously this just happened though, so I didn't get to look into him. So we're not even going to really be able to talk about that fight. And it's a small card to begin with. It's only 11 fights compared to 15. We were kind of spoiled last week, and that was a great card last week, man.
We've never had a card that much. Like 15 fights, crazy. I mean, we can just kind of like scroll past it.
Yeah.
Main event: Whitaker versus Till. I thought it was a close fight, man. I mean, I do think that it wasn't a robbery, but I mean, Till blew his knee out in the second round, so obviously that's one reason why he didn't throw that much. But personally, I don't know, man. I think Till could have got the nod, honestly, but I mean, it was a close fight. Um, let me just talk through the fights and then I'll let you go. So co-main
Okay.
event, Shogun versus Little Nog. Uh, I mean, this is the fight that you're gonna want to talk about, but I mean, watching the fight, I actually thought that Will Nog got it, but I mean, it is what it is. It was a close
No,
fight.
come on.
I thought that Will Nog edged it. I mean, the first round was all about how do you score like the takedown. Because before that takedown, he was winning the round. I thought it was a close fight though, straight up. Next fight, Verdum versus Gus. I mean, I picked Verdum to win. I just didn't really look into it, and he won. So sucks I didn't bet him. Is what it is. Esparza versus Marina. That is a fight. It's a very close fight, but I think that Esparza won, in my opinion. Edged it. Paul Craig versus Antiguoff. Yeah, I wish I would have bet Craig, but I didn't. Cowboy versus Sabata. Yeah, Cowboy got the job and dominated him. Kazmat, obviously, we saw what he did. He dominated McKee. Trinaldo beat Herbert. I mean, that's a fight that we both don't really want to talk about. Herbert was winning the fight, and he got caught. Jesse Ronson versus Dolby, dude, that's a fight that I'm really pissed off about. I didn't pick Ronson, but like I literally said he was live. But damn, dude, Dolby's a fucking bed shitter, dude. Aspinall versus Collier. Congrats, Aspinall. He smoked him. Mobzar versus Grundy. I really thought that Grundy was going to get that submission, man, in the first round. He gas. Congrats to Mobzar. Bozer versus Pessoa. I mean, yeah, Bozer's been looking fucking good, dude. And he called out Concrete Boss. He's going to fucking kill him. Panny versus Correa. You know what, man? This is a close fight, dude. Like, I mean, I don't think Bet should have won, but like, I still think that Panny's a fade. Like, I heard the other day that Panny might be fighting Rocky Pennington. As much as I hate Rocky Pennington, I don't think she's like fucking anything special. I think that Rocky should beat her ass, in my opinion. And then the last two fights, Ramzan Amir versus Stoltz. Yeah, Amir's kind of not the. I mean, he's not who I thought he was, honestly, man. I think he's kind of a fade. And then Nathaniel Wood looked good, but then he looked good against a fucking jobber, dude. So I mean, I do want to see how Wood looks against the top 25 guys because he's a talented kid, but he's shinny 100%. Yeah, what about you? Talk about the fights.
Yeah, man, I love the main event. That was a really awesome fight. Credit to Whitaker for surviving that first round when he got hurt, and then on the other side, big credit to Till for surviving that second round when he got hurt. And then so those were two obvious rounds, and then 3, 4 were all pretty close rounds. I thought one of those, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4, was definitely Whitaker though. And then there was another round that was pretty close that I slightly gave to Whitaker. I scored at 48-47 Whitaker, but if Till got the decision, it wouldn't have been really a robbery in my opinion. I just scored it for Whitaker, is what it is. Shogun, yeah, he gave me the win. My night came down to Shogun. He cashed for me. I got 5 winning cards in a row now, so I'm super pumped about that. I thought Shogun clearly won rounds 1 and 3. I gave round 2 to Little Nog. Dude, I was sweating that split, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to believe it if 2 judges gave round 1 to Little Nog. I just couldn't see it. Like, yeah, he landed some good shots in the feet, but I felt like Shogun was too. And Shogun was the one moving forward that round, man. So definitely thought he won. Good performance, I guess, for her 38-year-old standards. Verdum, dude, we both fucking picked Verdum, and he came out and submitted Gus in the first round. I can't believe I didn't bet him, but props to anybody that did. Our boy Dan Levy, he was sharp enough to be on him. Gustafson should go back to retirement, man. That was kind of embarrassing, if we're being honest. Marina Rodriguez. So I got some thoughts on this one. I bet Marina. I bet on her to win by decision at plus 100. And I will say, I thought based on damage and what happened at the end of the round, that fight could have easily gone to Marina Rodriguez, but I've no complaints whatsoever. I mean, Carla Esparza definitely won the third, and then the second was super, super close. But I will say, I think I made a bad bet just because it was pretty clear to me Carla was the better fighter. It was just like the massive stunt she was pulling at the end of the round trying to go for that ankle lock is really what cost her definitely the first round. I thought Marina definitely won the first round. And then the second round, I mean, it came pretty close to costing her the fight in that second round, man. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Good on her for not doing that in the third round. Good win for her. Props to anybody that bet Carla at dog odds. And then Justin said it, Paul Craig. Yeah, that was fucking easy money, man. As soon as it hit the mat, he just locked that guy in, and he kind of didn't even really know how to defend it. Props to anybody that bet Cowboy Oliveira, dude. That was some ridiculous easy money. Like, if we were to remake that fight, like, you would have to line Cowboy Oliveira like at least minus 600. So to anybody that bet him at the minus 160, minus 170, whatever he was, that was big time value. So congrats to y'all. Hamzat Chimaev, of course, he came out and did what pretty much everyone expected him to do. So he got that parlay with Shogun done for me. Trinaldo and Herbert, man. So me and Justin both bet Herbert. We both got great lines too, plus 150. He loses the first round. Then the second round comes out. He's looking great. He hurts Trinaldo. And then that third round hits and Trinaldo lands that perfect shot. And like, I even said it in, our breakdown for this fight, that Rice McKee knockout on Jai Herbert was a little alarming. I won't lie. And knockout crossed my mind here. Trinaldo can hit. And you know what, man? The live betting odd, it was like plus 600 Trinaldo after the second round too. So for him to pull off a comeback knockout like that at age 40, 41, whatever he is, big props to him, man. He definitely burned me and Justin there. And he can still keep winning these fights, man. So I'm done writing off Trinaldo for sure. Even though eventually, of course, as soon as I decide I'm not gonna write him off anymore, that's probably when he's gonna fall off a cliff. But who knows with this guy? He's definitely got a little bit of the Yoel Romero syndrome where he just ages in reverse. Crazy. And Jesse Bronson, man. Pretty much most people agreed that the line was so fucking off on this fight. Nicholas Dalby shouldn't be minus 250 or minus 300 against anybody. But not a lot of people bet him. So if you went out and bet Jesse Bronson in the plus 200s, huge props to you. He made it real fucking easy, man. And he broke the DraftKings slate for sure. He actually scored the same amount as Chimaev. So if you had Jesse Bronson and Chimaev and Fabricio Verdum in your DraftKings lineups, you were doing real good that night. My boy Tom Aspinall, he finished up another parlay for me. Made easy work of Jake Collier. It's so funny. I feel like such a dumbass because on the podcast, I'm like, yo, Jake Collier is a middleweight moving up to heavyweight. He's probably not even going to weigh in at 240 pounds. Little did I know, the guy came in completely out of shape. 265 pounds, maxed the limit. Didn't even look like the same guy. And Tom Aspinall, he made easy work. He did exactly what he should have. So I'm happy for him. And then the fight before that is who I had him parlayed with, Movsar Evloev. Dude, I was sweating, man. Like Grundy had that choke locked in round one, and I'm not gonna lie, I was about to send Justin the old congrats message right there and then Movsar survives and he takes over big time the rest of the fight, man. The way he's able to scramble out of certain positions, like, dude, he's slick, man. And like, I know you and Ricky brought up that he's kind of, he is smaller for the featherweight division, but I think that just makes him more like, he's tricky in there. He's faster than most guys. He's super technical. Movsar Evloev is like a tough fight for fucking anybody, man. I think the world of that guy. And then Tanner Bozer versus Pessoa. I don't have much to say about this one. That was was a big time mismatch. So props to anybody that was on Bozer, even at the wide odds, like minus 250, that was still value. So I know my boy Z was on him. Speaking of Z, he was on Pani Kianzad too, and he got minus 110 odds there. And, Pani clearly won the fight. So, value at Pick'em there for sure. I thought she definitely won rounds 1 and 3. So big win for her. And then, dude, Justin kind of alluded to it. Ramazan Ameev, like, I was so convinced that this guy was going to come out and just ragdoll Nicholas Stoltz, and it was going to be way more one-sided than it actually was. But I don't know, man. Ameev showed some holes in his game, and I'm not. Now that we're a few fights deep into Ramazan Ameev's career, like, I don't think the guy is very good at all. So I'm going to keep a close eye on who they match him up with later in his career. And then Nathaniel Wood, man, put on a really good comeback performance after losing to John Dodson. He absolutely outclassed this guy from bell to bell. So props to Nate Wood.
Yeah, man. Anything you want to say before we talk about this card on Saturday?
I'm ready to rock, man.
Let's do this, man. First fight of the night, dude. We got Chris Gutierrez versus Cody Durden. And I'll be going this one first. I have a play on this fight. I have Cody Durden, 2 units at, I believe, plus 280. Let me just double check real quick. The line's been kind of going back.
You got plus 285.
Plus 285. I like how you know my own plays and everything. Plus 285. Yeah, man. I think this line's completely off, dude. I think this kid's pretty talented. I think he has really good wrestling. He has a high school background in wrestling. If you watch all of his fights, he's a good wrestler. He has good top game. His striking's improved. He has really good pressure. And Chris Gutierrez, I do like him. I don't think he's a jobber. He has really good weight kicks. He looked really good last fight. But the thing is, who did he look good against? He looked good. I know you're going to be a little salty because you think the guy's not bad, but I think Vince Morales is a fucking joke. I don't think he's good. I think he's a jobber. I think he's terrible. He does not belong in the UFC. And the fact that he went out there and looked really good against him, yeah, it's impressive. But, is it really impressive? I guess. But, he's been taken down before Gutierrez. Ray Rodriguez took this guy down. What's the Brazilian dude? I actually thought
Geraldo de Freitas.
I actually thought he won that fight. It's a rob. A lot of people thought it was a really close fight. I thought he won the fight. That's how Durden wins this fight. He gets in his face, he pressures, he takes us down. If he does it, he's going to get weight kicked. And let's be honest, Gutierrez is a really good weight kicker. He has good cardio. He has a good chin. But I really think that being taken down in multiple fights is gonna happen here, man. Durden has a really good high school background. And if you watch all of his tape, dude, he has really good wrestling. He's been subbed one time, but I don't think Gutierrez can tap him out. I know that he tapped out Ray Rodriguez, the black belt, but I don't think he's going to go out there and tap him out. I just like Durden's wrestling, his top game. Once he gets on top, dude, he has really good elbows. I like the camp he's training at, American Top Team with Diego Lima, the Lima brothers, Anthony Rocco Martin. What's that Brazilian dude's name they used to fight in UFC? Chacao, I think, or is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, he's a good coach too. Like I just mentioned, if Durden doesn't get him down, then I will be nervous because on the feet, I think that Durden has better hands. I don't think Chris has really good hands. But, when Chris uses his range, he has really good kicks. But I just think that Durden's going to be able to take him down. This line is completely off. It should be really, really close. I just think a lot of people don't really know about this kid, but he's 11-2, dude. He's on a 7-fight winning streak. And, you could say that he hasn't beaten the best competition, but, I just don't think Gutierrez is, anything special. So I'm going to go with Chris Durden. Not Chris Durden. I'm going to go with Durden, Cody Durden. I'm going to go with a decision. I could see him finishing him, honestly, like on the mat. But, I'll go with the 30-27 decision for Durden. What about you?
Yeah, this is a really good matchup, man. Gutierrez was originally supposed to fight Luke Sanders. I thought that was a really interesting matchup, but this is a really interesting matchup too, man, because Chris Gutierrez, he's coming off the biggest win of his career against Vince Morales. And yeah, no, I'm not really impressed with that Vince Morales win, to be honest, like based on Vince Morales. Like I talked him up in the past, but I think I think I learned my lesson on him. That guy is definitely no good at all. And he didn't even wrestle in that fight either. He didn't even shoot. He just stood and, traded with Chris Gutierrez, like literally the worst idea possible. And he got chewed up for it. And yeah, that was a good performance by Gutierrez, but now he's fighting a guy that's absolutely going to be shooting, getting in his face, clinching up, making a real dirty fight, man. If you think this guy's about to stand there and get his legs chopped like friggin' Vince Morales did, I think you're mistaken, man. This line is very much so off. I mean, Cody Durden presents the style that Chris Gutierrez struggles against. And, it's not even just the UFC fights that you brought up, the Barcelos and Geraldo de Freitas fights where he gets taken down. Gerard Sanders, even before the UFC, man. I mean, this is historically the style that Chris Gutierrez has lost to. Justin mentioned it, man. He made a lot of good points. Durden does come out of a great camp as well. Comes out of the NFC scene. Shout out to Dan Levy. Yeah, man. I mean, okay, if the line was like close to pick 'em, I would be picking Chris Gutierrez here, but just because it's so off, I'm going to go with Cody Durden for the upset. I'm going to say he gets a 29-28 unanimous decision. He's the cheapest guy on DraftKings this week, guys. $7,000. If you put him in your lineup, man, I mean, you could afford a hell of a lineup if you get him in there and he wins. And especially since he's a grappler, so it's like a DraftKings dream. I'm really interested to see how high the ownership will be. I'm trying to gauge on what I think it'll be, and I'm going to try to be over that because, yeah, I like him in this fight, man. He can definitely win it, and I think he can put up some points. And I haven't bet him yet. I had a bet for this card, a nice little juicy underdog play, but it just got canceled. We'll talk about that in a sec. So just because I've been debating with it, it's like such a big line. I'm probably going to end up betting Cody Durden either after this podcast or in the morning, man. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Cody Durden as well.
Have you watched the tape on him? He's improved like rapidly, like especially
big
on the
time, man.
win streak. The only thing is he hasn't fought the best competition, but who is as Gutierrez beat? I mean, he really hasn't beaten anybody. Let's be honest. I mean, I thought he lost to De Freitas, and he beat Morales, who's not good. I mean, Ryan McDonald's a fucking joke. And the thing is, like, people act like all he has is wrestling. If you watch his fights, his striking's improving a lot. Really good pressure, man. I mean, that's one thing about him is a good chin too, but I mean, good cardio. Like, there's just nothing really bad about his game. Like, his striking's not like legit or anything, but he has a good right hand, and I just like this relentless pressure, dude. And I just don't think Gutierrez can hurt him on the feet unless he gets those weight kicks. But it's not like that. Durden's going to be, waiting for him to go first. Durden's going to be shooting for the takedown immediately. He's relentless. That's what I like about him. So he's a good grappler, and we've seen Gutierrez struggle with wrestlers. So, this line's completely off. It should be way closer. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised. It should be a pick'em in my opinion, honestly. So I got Durden. Next fight, I believe we got
Emmers.
Yeah, so I mean that fight. I mean, you can tell the people who where, if you want to, where we're gonna go with that fight. But I have not taped this new guy at all. What's his record? Have you checked anything?
He's 7-2. I mean, you haven't taped it yet because it literally just got announced like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I know you had a play, so if you want to tell the viewers about that.
Yeah, I mean, I won't go too much into it just because it's the fight that got canceled, but I had a 3-unit play on Jamal Emmers at plus 170 against Timur Valiev. I just thought that was completely off on, a guy that's a weight class bigger. He had a huge reach advantage. In my opinion, he is the more athletic and, Timur has some tricky strikes for sure. They're very different strikers. I just thought it would have favored Emmers just based on, I think his shots would be more powerful. He's got the big reach. I thought he would just touch up Timur on the feet. And then with the wrestling, I guess Timur could go to the wrestling, but dude, there's going to be a big strength advantage. You're fighting a featherweight. So I thought Timur would have a solid performance, but lose the decision and then bounce back at his real weight class at bantamweight. So I'm kind of salty that bet got canceled, but now we got this new guy, Vince Cachero. I've never seen, I don't believe. Oh, okay. He fought Casey Kenny. Okay. He's the guy that got knocked out in the first round by Casey Kenny, like a year ago? That might have been Casey Kenny's last fight before he signed to the UFC. So, okay. And then he lost to a 6-1 guy after that. So he's lost 2 out of his last 3. So I'm going to assume Jamal Emmers is going to be a very big favorite here. I wish I watched tape on this guy, but like I just said, it just got announced. So yeah, I'm just going to say pre-tape pick. I'll go with Jamal Emmers. Yeah. You're muted, brother.
Not bad. Next fight, this is a very interesting fight. We got Eric Spicely versus Marcus Perez. Kelvin, who do you got here?
This is a really weird fight, man, but I'm kind of solid on my pick here. I'm going to go with Maluco Perez. I just feel like it's probably a good matchup for him, man. Like, Spicely's not very good on the feet. Like, maybe someone will bring up his crazy war with Duran Win. He landed a lot of strikes in that fight, but I think Duran Win has kind of been exposed at this point. So I definitely think Maluko's the sharper, cleaner striker on the feet, and as long as he doesn't get dumb and brawl, if he keeps distance and just tries to technically outstrike Spice Lee, he can definitely do that. If Spice Lee happens to get it on the mat, where he probably will want to get it, Spice Lee has really good BJJ. Maluko's never been subbed before in pro MMA. I think that's pretty impressive. So I think even if Spice Lee can get the takedowns, I don't think he'll get subbed. I think Spice Lee will probably need at least 2 rounds of top control, and that just kind of sounds a little low percentage to me. Who knows? There's a first for everything. Maybe he could lock something up. He is a real tricky guy. I mean, we are talking about a guy who submitted Thiago Marreta Santos in Brazil, so I'm not going to completely write him off. I mean, I'm not going to be betting Maluko Perez over minus 200 here, but I'm going to say he comes out here and gets a nice, clean 30-27 decision.
It's a very interesting fight, man, because, I mean, on paper, I do think that Perez is obviously the better striker. He has the way better chin. Spice, he's really chinny. You know, he slows down, too. He has really bad cardio, I feel like. His striking is not good. I mean, yeah, his striking looked improved versus Duran Win, but, I mean, that's Duran Win, dude. I mean, I think we were both wrong about Duran Win. I feel like he's not a jobber, but I don't know, man. The guy might have to go to 170. Back on this matchup, though, I actually do think that Spicy could land takedowns. I mean, we saw Eric Anders take fucking Marcus Perez down. So, I mean, that's a red flag right there. Perez has lost, I think, 2 out of his last 3 fights, but I mean, those are against pretty good guys in Welton Turman. And he lost to Andrew Sanchez, who I don't think is that good, actually. I think he's overrated for sure. And the Andrew Sanchez fight was really close, dude. I mean, that could have gone either way. Yeah, Perez has a big striking advantage. I like his kicks. I mean, he has good body kicks, and he could definitely hurt Spicy. Spicy's really weak to the body. And I got to give Perez the advantage on the mat. I mean, he's a black belt. He has really good jiu-jitsu. Spicy has good jiu-jitsu too. But, I mean, Spicy, I think he has to go out there and take him down. That's his game. He can probably get some takedowns. But if he goes down to the mat with Perez, I mean, I feel like Perez is just a better guy on the mat. So I'll go with Perez by submission. But would it surprise me if Spicy got the upset? No, because I don't think Perez is that good. I really don't. So I got Perez, but I'm not confident. Next fight, we got my boy Ray Borg, I believe, versus Nathan. How do you pronounce it?
Manus.
Yeah, man. You know what, man? I like Borg a lot. I was really impressed with him last fight against Ricky Simone. I know I bet him versus Simone, and I wish he would have struck more because every time he threw a shot, he like looked like a fucking beast. Like his striking really looked the best he's ever looked in his career. Simone big brother him, but if you watch the tape on this matchup, Nathan's a striker. Like the guy's not going to be able to take down Borg. Borg's the better grappler. I don't think this Manus kid is that good at all. Yeah, he has a good record, but I mean, I think Borg's going to fuck him up in this spot, dude. I'm not going to be playing the juice on Borg here, but I do like Borg to get the win, and I'm actually going to fucking say a statement. I'm sure no one will fucking say this at all. I got Borg by a finish, dude. I think Borg's going to rip to the body and fucking hurt this guy really bad and get him out of there. So, and the thing with Borg is he's so relentless and his cardio is so good and his grappling is good. I mean, yeah, you can say that he probably should not be fighting at 35. I wish this guy fucking went on a strict diet and went to 25 because he went to 25, dude. This guy would fucking be a contender. Like, I don't care what anyone says. He could be a top 3 dude right now at 125. I really wish this guy gets his shit together, man, because on his best day, he's going out there and fucking, you know, beating fucking Formiga and, I mean, good competition. And on his worst day, he's fucking losing to fucking Justin Scoggins, dude, which is fucking embarrassing. But I like Borg. I'm a believer in him. He can win fights at 35. He definitely can. But I think he can go to 25. So I'm going to go with Borg. I think that he's overall the way better grappler. He has good striking. We saw in his last fight. Good cardio. I don't think Manus is that good at all. So I'll go with Borg. And I'm going to go with a second round TKO. What about you?
You know, I'm going to agree with you in picking Ray Borg, but I definitely got some different analysis on this fight. Like, I don't think Borg, like, you're right. His striking was improved last fight. It was definitely the best it ever looked, but I don't think it looked good. I thought it was still super basic. Like, he's fast, especially for at being at 135. Like, he can throw some fast hands. Like, if he can get on the inside in this guy, yeah, maybe he can land some good shots, but man, Maness has a 9-inch reach advantage. He's much taller. I believe he's like 6 inches taller. Man, I mean, if he can keep distance here, I mean, I could see him outstriking Ray Borg. It's just I think Ray Borg is most likely going to end up getting takedowns here. I mean, that is what he does. He wasn't really able to do that against Ricky Simone because Ricky Simone is, he's built like a brick shit house. This guy, he's a little different. He's a little skinnier. I feel like Ray Borg's going to be able to just, double leg him all day long. So Ray Borg, I think he just puts on a wrestling clinic here. I don't know if he'll sub this guy. He's never been subbed. I'm just not really impressed by this guy, though, honestly. Like, the Taylor Lapilus fight, that was kind of a bad look. Like, I know Lapilus is an all right striker, but he was cut from the UFC for a reason. And, man, he kind of got blown out of the water badly there. And, yeah, maybe you're right, man. Maybe if Ray Borg puts some powerful strikes on him, he can put this guy away. It's just I wouldn't mess around with the striking because this guy, he does have power. He's much bigger. If he lands something big, who knows? Maybe he could hurt Borg. I'm not going to come out here and bet Ray Borg at minus 250, but the line's probably about accurate. So, yeah, I'll say he gets a wrestling-based decision.
Yeah, I had the next fight on my fucking phone right now, but I got out of an accident. Let me check real quick.
It's Ed Herman.
Oh, God. So next fight, we have Ed Shorefuse Herman. Ed Shorefuse Herman versus Gerald Meerschaert, GM3. Who do you got in this one?
Oh man, I don't fucking know who I got in this one. This is a weird fight. I was leaning Ed Herman like a lot at first, especially pre-tape, but like yeah, he won his last 2 fights, but yeah, he's not looking good. He still looks old. He still looks slow. Like Gerald Meerschaert, Gerald Meerschaert's actually had more fights than Ed Herman, which is crazy. Meerschaert's such an experienced guy, but I feel like he just has more left to give, honestly. Like, it's definitely sketchy that he's taking this fight after being knocked out by Ian Heinisch not too long ago. But I don't know, man. Like, Ed Herman definitely has power. He's knocked out some guys, but, like, the guys he's knocked out recently, Patrick Nochin, Cummings, and I don't know. Who knows? Maybe coming up to 205 here and not cutting as much weight, maybe that'll help out GM3's chin. And this is pretty funny. I'll say I think this might be the first time we ever see GM3 have a speed advantage in the octagon. So I actually think he might be able to land, outstrike Ed Herman here. I just feel like he'll be able to, out volume him. He's got to look out for the leg kicks, though. Ed Herman does chop those legs real fucking hard. He's also just so gritty in the clinch, too. And I'm really interested to see the grappling in this fight, too, man, because Ed Herman, he's actually been taken down a lot in the UFC, and Gerald Meerschaert, he's not the best wrestler in the world, but I actually think he could take that route as well. So I'm going to go with Gerald Meerschaert here by decision. It's kind of a shit show fight, though. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened here. Like, if Ed Herman comes out and knocks out GM3 with a first punch, I wouldn't even be fucking surprised at all. But interestingly enough, I actually tweeted it earlier today. It's crazy how many fights these guys have had that have ended in submission. Of course I can't even find it right now, but I think GM3 has been okay, I can't even find it right now. So okay, here it is. Ed Herman and GM3 combined for 36 submission wins, and they also combined for 14 submission losses. That's a combined 50 fights of theirs that have ended by submission. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick GM3 by submission here just to keep that trend going. So, yeah, I'll say GM3 rounds 3 submission, but literally zero confidence in this fight. It's a shit show.
Yeah, I'm not confident, dude, in this fight. It's a close fight. I know that there's a lot of people that are on Ed Herman. I do think that he's live. I think that the line should be closer, and it's a close fight because Herman's the bigger dude. He's on a 2-fight winning streak, but then again, he's beaten 2 fucking complete bums. I mean, fucking. Let's be honest, dude. That Russian guy's so fucking bad. 0-3. The guy's so terrible, and then he beat fucking. Who did he beat last fight?
Last fight, he beat the Russian. Right?
Okay.
Patrick Cummings.
Cummings, who has no chin. So, I mean, that's, like 2 fucking jobbers. He lost to Vannata, that was a while ago, but still, though. But yeah, I mean, GM3's on a short turnaround. He got knocked out. But I think GM3's a good chin, though. He's tough, man. His striking's improved, too, for sure. He has a good jab. He's technical. I think that Herman probably has more power in the feet. But, I mean, he's been taken down before multiple times. Herman's a black belt, but, I mean, GM3's a black belt, too. And GM3 has the better ground game, the better wrestling. I think GM3 will get him down. And I think he'll tap him out with that really good anaconda choke that he has. So I'll go to GM3. Next fight, I'm going to let you go first. I know you have a play. Well, I mean, you have a lot of plays. You have like fucking 8 plays of a card. So we got Frankie Saenz versus Jonathan J. Martinez, and yeah, tell the viewers who you got.
Yeah, man, this is a really good fight. At pre-tape, like before I even looked into it, I saw the wide line. I knew Frankie Saenz can wrestle, and Jonathan Martinez has some questionable takedown defense. So I started off kind of looking into it. Maybe I can get some big juicy dog odds on old Frankie Saenz here, but I discovered the complete opposite, man. I like Jonathan Martinez here a lot. He's just so much better on the feet here. He's super dangerous. Frankie Saenz is absolutely chinny. He's 39 years old, which you don't want to be 39 years old in the bantamweight weight class. I see Jonathan Martinez, I see him getting him. He's a very dangerous striker. He only has one knockout in the UFC so far. I mean, he's early in his UFC career. He knocked out Pingwan Liu with a really nice knee. He throws that knee a lot, man. His fight against Andre Ewell, that was a really crazy fight, man. I love that fight. He definitely got robbed there, though, in my opinion. I thought he definitely won at least 2 out of the 3 rounds. And, Andre Ewell, he's no slouch, man. So that was a decent performance in my mind. And he's getting a step down here, in my opinion. Frankie Saenz, I want to say he's 2-3 or 2-1 in his last 3. Yeah, he is. So Henry Briones, I'm pretty sure he's not even on the UFC roster anymore. And then the Merab fight where Frankie Saenz got taken down 11 times and somehow still pulled out the decision, which I completely disagree with. So, I mean, if you really look at it, the guy could arguably be 1-5 in his last 6 fights, 2 knockout losses in that span as well. Yeah, man, I think just this has Jonathan Martinez finish written all over it. I put 2 units on Jonathan Martinez to win in the distance at plus 210. I didn't bet the knockout prop because he has a lot of submissions on his record. He's actually a pretty decent grappler, and I could see a situation where he hurts Frankie Saenz and then locks in a choke. So, yeah, I like this line a lot, man. I didn't really want to play Jonathan Martinez at minus 220, but then when I saw the in the distance line that high on a guy with durability issues who was 40 years old, man, and Jonathan Martinez, he's got like a 3-inch reach advantage here too, man. He's just the newer generation. I feel like the game is passing Frankie Saenz by, and props to him. He's got some great wins on his career. I know he pulled off like a plus 700 upset against Yuri Alcantara back in the day, but man, this is the new generation, bud. And Jonathan Martinez is he's gonna roll here.
Yeah, man, I got J Mark too. I actually do think that he'd be your last fight, and yeah, I mean he's so much better on the feet, and he could take him down, but he has a good game, and good cardio, Factory X. He's a good prospect, dude. I remember when he first fought Ouija Buren. I mean, like I don't know, man. Like I wasn't that impressed, and then the more he's fought, dude, he's looked good, dude. He's looked really good, and I think after he knocked out fucking Pingwan Wu. That was a really impressive win, dude. And then last fight, he looked good against Yule in a complete robbery. That was one of the biggest robberies of the year, in my opinion, by far. Yeah, I like J Mark. Good jab, good striking. Signs his chin is deteriorating. All he has is clean. He's old. I got him by finish. Next fight, I know you have a play, but I'm gonna go with this one first. We got Trevin Giles versus Kevin Holland. This is a great fight. It's probably one of the best fights tonight. A lot of people are probably going to think that I'm picking the cop because, well, I mean, yeah, we don't have to go there, but yeah, man, I actually like Trevin Giles. I really do. The guy, he's doesn't have the best fight IQ. He lost to Zach Cummings in a fight where he was winning the fight. I mean, it's 1-1, but I do think that he had the momentum in his corner, and then he got dropped and he got tapped out. Okay, next fight after that, his fight IQ was terrible against Meerschaert. Legit terrible. Like the guy was just kept on shooting against him, and if you watch him, he was legit landing on GM3 when he threw and like rocking him with that jab. But he kept on going to the ground. I don't know what he was doing. It was literally pissed me off to watch. I didn't even have a bet on him, but I was pissed. And then he got tapped out. And then he was supposed to fight Anthony Arroyo, and I mean, I thought he would have won that fight for sure. And then the James Krause fight was a good win. I mean, Krause is a good fighter at 170, and I thought he looked good in that fight. I mean, yeah, he lost the first round, and a lot of people are saying that he lost the fight, but personally, I scored the second round, third round to Giles, and I like Trevin Giles. I don't think he's a jobber at all. The guy is 3-2 in the UFC. Obviously, he's beaten all jobbers in my opinion, but he has a good jab. He has good movement. He has pretty good striking. He's technical, and he has good wrestling too. I feel like the only thing with him that is just not the best is he's been tapped out twice. His submission defense, and he slows down. His cardio is not the best. Kevin Holland has really good cardio. Kevin Holland's the bigger dude in this fight. Giles is a pretty big middleweight too, but I mean Kevin has a pretty big reach advantage. And you analyze the fight, I think Kevin has the better striking. I think Kevin's more technical for sure. I think Kevin has a good jab, a good right hand. The thing is with Kevin Holland is that you don't know which Holland's you're going to get. I mean, he looked really good last fight and so motivated against a guy who I thought was good. It turns out that he's not. He's a jobber for sure, in my opinion, Fluffy. And I like Fluffy, but he's just not UFC material. Kevin Holland, dude, gets taken down a lot, man. That's the thing. But the thing in this fight is that his jiu-jitsu is so good, and he's a black belt. I feel like he could definitely tap out Trevin Giles. That's why I was thinking about, say, like, picking Giles. And then after you watch the tape, I was like, you know what, man, the line's off, I think. But I do got to go Kevin Holland just because I don't trust Giles. Like, Giles has the better wrestling. He can 100% take down Kevin Holland. He probably will. But I just don't trust him on the mat. I think he's going to fucking do something stupid and get choked out, man, for the third time in a row. So I'm going to go with Kevin Holland. I'm going to go with submission. I know that he should probably be fighting at 170, but he's good, dude. He's a good fighter. It's just the fight against GM3 pisses me off. Like, dude, the fuck? Like, you arguably lost that fight, man. You didn't even, I don't get it with Kevin Holland. But the thing is, Kevin Holland's not going to shoot on Trevin Giles. I mean, he has a pretty big advantage on the feet, I feel like, and he's fast. So I'll go with Kevin Holland by submission, but I do think that the line's off, and Giles might surprise some people and make this fight close because I do like Giles' jab and his straight right. The guy has good striking. It's just I heard he hasn't been training that much. If you watch his interview with James Lynch, he said that the whole COVID thing, he has not been training. He's been working a lot. He's a cop, so I mean, he's definitely putting in a lot of work in the police, in the law enforcement. So. And I don't really like the gym that he trains at either. He trains at like a no-name gym in Texas and stuff. He should be training at fucking Fortis MMA. But I like Kevin Holland. But it's just the thing with him is you don't know which Kevin Holland you're going to get. He could show up and fucking look terrible in this fight. But I'll go with Kevin Holland. I do think that the sky's the limit for this kid, and he has a lot of potential. And if he goes to 170, he could probably be a top 10 dude. And if he stays at 185, he could probably still crack the top 15. So I'll go with Kevin Holland. What do you got?
Yeah, man. I thought you made a lot of good points for sure. I'm more confident on Kevin Holland than you are for sure, though. I got him in a parlay with somebody later in the card, and you mentioned him, man. Like Trevin Giles, he's got an all right jab. His boxing fundamentals. He's a solid fighter. He has decent wrestling, decent jiu-jitsu, decent striking. It's just he's not particularly amazing anywhere, and fight IQ issues. He's not the biggest guy in the division either. Yeah, I just think Kevin Holland, he's the better striker. He's way better on the mat. He's bigger, 7-inch reach advantage here. I think that's going to come into play for sure. And you mentioned the wrestling. Yeah, I think Giles, maybe he could get Kevin Holland down. I personally think Kevin Holland will stuff, but if he happens to get him down, I mean, Kevin Holland has the way better BJJ. He can reverse you. He can sub you. He was actually recently awarded his BJJ black belt, which in my opinion is, that's rightfully earned. He's definitely pretty sick on the mat. And yeah, man, Giles just hasn't impressed me. Like he's only had 5 fights in the UFC. I watched all 5 of them. Of course, the first 2 were against complete bums. And even looking at the wrestling, like, yeah, he took down that James Boknovic guy like 5 or 6 times, and that kind of inflated his stats. And even then, the stats will tell you he only averages like 1.5 takedowns per fights, and that's including the 5 he landed against Boknovic. So, I mean, to think that Giles could come out here and win a wrestling-based decision, I think that's like extremely low percentage. Like, really, what I think needs to happen here for Kevin Holland to lose this fight is to, pull the Kevin Holland stunt, man. He's done in the past. He fucks around in there. It's not a good look, but he seems to have grown up, in my opinion. In my opinion, you know, you can see in his demeanor, I think he's a lot more serious about it now. So, and you know, he could see it in that last fight. He was playing no games in there. You know, people say, well, it's only 30 seconds. You can't really learn a lot. I mean, shit, man. He looked like a man on a mission there, and I don't think anything is going to change here. I'm going to come out here and say he finishes Giles in the first round via a TKO.
It's just like I want him to pick Giles really bad, man. But just I can't just because Kevin Holland's ground game is so good, dude, and he's getting tapped out against GM3 has a good ground game, and yeah, I mean Cummings has a really good Doris, but you're getting tapped out twice against those guys. Like, and if this fight hits the mat, like you're gonna. I feel like if he goes for one fucking sloppy takedown, he's gonna leave his neck out and get tapped out. And I mean, Giles has a good chin too. I think he's tough. He has been, dropped in the past, but he's a tough dude. I mean, Giles beat Ryan Spann in the regional scene. This guy's no slouch. Like he's not a jobber. I can't sit here and say he's not. He can win like some fights in the division for sure. It's just, I mean, just his last two fights, man. I mean, the GM3 fight really pissed me off. The guy's IQ was terrible, but then again, Holland showed bad IQ too. So Holland for the win. Do think the line's off. Next fight, we got Lando Vannata versus Bobby Green. Who do you got in this one?
Man, I was really looking at betting Lando Vannata in this spot. It opened up. It opened up Lando minus 175, and then a lot of money immediately came in on Bobby Green. Actually, on one book, Lando Vannata hit plus 130 for a second. I absolutely would have snatched that up if given the chance. Unfortunately, I missed it. I even passed at the minus 110, and now he's sitting here at minus 150. I don't really want to bet him at minus 150, but I'm pretty solid on Lando Vannata in this spot, man. I mean, firstly, so this is a rematch. They fought before. It went to a draw. If you've never seen the fight, I definitely recommend watching it. It was a real good scrap. A lot of strikes landed, some knockdowns. I scored it for Lando Vannata. I want to say I gave him rounds 1 and 2. Obviously, he had the point deduction in round 1, and then I gave Bobby Green round 3. And now where the confusion is, so if you give Lando Vannata rounds 1 and 2 with the point deduction and then Bobby Green round 3, you end up with a draw. But I was seeing some arguments that even though Lando got a point deducted in round 1, that should be a 10-8 round for Lando Vannata, but I'm not really sure how that works. Like, if you get a point deducted in a round, I mean, can the fight still be scored 9-8? I don't know. I'd love to hear some more clarification on that. But if so, that's actually how I would score the round, man. I thought that was a 10-8 Lando Vannata round with the point deduction, so 9-8. So the score would actually be 28 or 28-27. Yeah, 28-27 is how I actually scored it. So anyway, man, yeah. So I actually did score the first fight for Lando Vannata, and now what are we? 3 years into the future. Bobby Green's a little older. Lando Vannata's got some more experience, and you know what they say about these rematches, man. Usually the younger guy wins in the rematches. We saw that with the Shogun fight, Shogun 2 and 3 fight. I mean, I'm not going to use that as a reason that Lando Vannata is going to win, but if you do look at the numbers, the younger guy typically does win, and it's not only that, man. Like I mentioned it, that first round was a 10-8 for Lando Vannata. He had Bobby Green super hurt. He was looking like a minus 500 in that first round. He had Bobby Green absolutely like flattened out face first on the mat, and he's just teeing off. Bobby Green starts to get back up to his feet, and then Lando Vannata throws an illegal knee, and I mean, shit, dude. I mean, that point deduction was definitely worth it. Like, he definitely intentionally threw that knee, but I kind of feel like maybe if Lando Vannata gets in a spot like that where he hurts Bobby Green in this fight, I think with the experience he's had, maybe he can stay more composed this time and, be a little more patient with the finish, and I think he'll lock it up this time. So I'm actually going to go with Lando Vannata to knock out Bobby Green in the first round. I really hope Bobby Green money comes in because I would totally bet Lando Vannata if he got down to the pick'em range again. And I'm definitely going to be using him heavy on DraftKings. He's only 8,200. So, yeah, let's go Lando Vannata. You're muted, brother.
The whole time. All right. I wanted to bet Bobby Green, but somebody's telling me to just stay away just because he fights close in a lot of his fights. I mean, the fight with Trinaldo and Andrew Carclose, I thought that he won both of them, but I mean, they're really close. He looked good last fight against Guida, but Guida's 100% done. The Eric Koch fight, I mean, Eric Koch's a welterweight and not really that good. But yeah, the fight with Lando and Green, the rematch, I mean, or the first fight, I mean, I thought that, you know, it was a draw for sure. I don't think that Lando should have won the fight, but Lando did hurt him really bad in the first round. But Green has a really good chin, dude. I mean, the only person to finish Green is what, Dustin Poirier? I mean, and Dustin Poirier is one of the best fighters in the division by far. I think Green has really good striking. I think he has a huge advantage in the cardio. I know that Lando went 3 rounds last fight, but I mean, Yancey looked like dog shit, dude. I think Yancey definitely has been a changed man since the Cowboy fight, even though he won the fight too. I don't like Lando's cardio. I don't. I mean, the guy has really good kicks, and I mean, you know, he's fun to watch, but he's 3-4-2. He's a brawler. Like, he's taking way too much damage. I think Green's more technical. I mean, if this fight hits the mat, I feel like Green has the advantage on the mat. It's all about can Lando knock him out, man, in the first round. And if he doesn't, I think Green's going to take over. So I'll go with Bobby Green with the decision. But like I told you, I'm not betting him just because, I mean, I feel like it could be kind of a close fight if Lando wins the first round and then the second round, maybe Lando could drop him. And I don't know. It all depends on.
One thing I want to add. You mentioned the grappling. So it was actually Lando Vannata in their first fight that landed 4 takedowns. And, you know, he's got that wrestling background as well. So, like, I'd say if anyone, like Lando Vannata has the wrestling advantage, it's just, can Bobby Green get it there? Because, yeah, I guess Bobby Green has better BJJ.
Yeah, I don't think Lando
but,
could. I don't think.
I just don't think he'd.
I don't think Lando could do anything with the takedowns, though, if he took down Green. Like, Lando, yeah, he has that wrestling background, but, I mean, when have we ever seen him just wrestle? I mean, David Tamer took this guy down, dude, like multiple times. I mean, Bobby Green has a good wrestling like game. It's just like he's a striker. But if this fight hits the mat, I think Bobby has a better jiu-jitsu. But I mean, I thought Bobby's gonna tap out Guida, but I mean, he's so dominant.
Yeah, me too. I bet it.
Didn't you say that you thought that Guida won a round? I don't think he did.
Didn't he? Yeah, didn't he win the first round?
Nah, I don't. I think Bobby won every round.
Sketchy fight though, kind of.
So next fight. Hold on, real quick. I know what fight it is. Just gotta look at my notes.
It's a fight you bet, bro.
I know. Okay. There it is. We got Randy Brown versus Vicente Luque. This is a good fight, dude. This is probably the best fight in the card besides the main event. You know, I'm a big Luque guy, dude. I like the guy. I've only faded him once, and it was his last fight. I mean, I've bet on him multiple times, dude. Like in the UFC, I have a big record with him. I think he's a good fighter. I don't think that he's a bad fighter at all. He's definitely one of the most exciting fighters in the division. He's a top 15 guy, 100%. You know, he has really good striking. His straight left is, you know, probably one of the best straight lefts in the fucking division. He has a good jab. He has a good pressure. He's tough. You know, I think that the guy, he has a good chin. I just think that he's taken so much fucking damage. And I know I've been talking about this with a lot of people. I think that one of these days he's going to get knocked out. Like, all that damage has been taken, all the wars, the Barberina fight, dude. Like, you should not be going to war with a guy like Barberina. I don't think Barberina is that good. I think that he's not a jobber, but he's just not the best. And let's be honest, Barberina was winning that fight. I know maybe, you know, the whole his fight in his hometown had to do with it, but if you rewatch the fight, because I've watched it multiple times, Barberina was winning that fight until he knocked him out. And then you watch the fight with Derek Krantz. I mean, even Krantz had fucking, like, took him down and rocked Luque. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Luque? And then when he fought Mike Perry, I mean, it was a really close fight. I mean, I actually thought that it was super close. I thought Perry could have won the fight, but I mean, Luque did fucking fuck him up pretty bad. But it's just all the wars, dude. Nico Price, dude, like, his last fight, man, I don't care what anyone says. I think Nico Price is winning that fight until he got fucking dropped and the whole fucking doctor stoppage and all that. But Nico was winning that fight, I thought. And Luque's going to fucking wars with these guys, dude. I mean, Randy Brown is really fucking technical. The thing with Randy Brown is that he's not green. I mean, he used to be green for sure. He's definitely looked really good. But, I mean, his last fight against Alves, we didn't really see his striking that much because Alves took him down, kind of kept him there in the first round. Then the second round, you know, he hurt him with that knee, and then he tapped him out with that armbar. I just think he's so fucking technical, man. And the whole Wonderboy fight as well. I mean, Wonderboy Luque won the first round. I'll admit, Luque won the first round against Wonderboy, but those last 2 rounds, Wonderboy fucking dominated him, man. And if Brown uses that fucking same distance that Wonderboy did, man, I can see him picking him apart. I actually think that both these guys are really technical. And obviously Brown has the reach advantage, but I really like his kicks a lot. I like his jab. I like his straight right. I think this fight hits the mat. I actually have to give advantage to Brown, honestly, man. I mean, Luque has a really good anaconda choke, but would it be surprising if Brown took him down? No. Nico Price took him down his last fight. I actually think Randy Brown has a really good ground game. He just tapped out a fucking black belt. Do I think Brown's going to tap Luque out? No, I don't. But I think that Brown can 100% knock out Luque here, man. I mean, Brown has knockout power. Brown has really fucking good kicks, like I mentioned, a good jab, a good straight right. And he uses distance really good, dude. It's just the whole thing with Brown in this fight that I'm worried about is that, his chin, but I don't think he's chinny yet. He's been knocked out one time, dude. I mean, he got caught against Nico Price in a really fucking weird low percentage move. And yeah, he got caught with those fucking hard ass shots on the hammer fist and all that. But I mean, besides that, have you ever seen him really like chinny? I don't think so. We haven't, man. I mean, he's a tough dude, dude. And he doesn't get hit that much either, man. I like the Barberina fight. I thought he looked really good in that fight. He fucking dominated him like he should have. The Bilal Muhammad fight, I mean, I thought he went around. If they rematch, I think it'd be a lot different. But he just has to use those kicks, pick them apart at range, and just not don't try to brawl with Luque, because if you try to brawl with Luque, that's what he likes. But still, man, he's taking way too much damage, dude. And I like Luque, but he's gonna get knocked out soon. I think could Brown win a decision? I don't even know, man, because Luque doesn't have the best cardio either. I mean, that's one of his biggest flaws. I mean, Brown's been 3 rounds. I actually think Brown has the better cardio, but I think Brown's going to knock him out, man, in the 3rd round. And it sucks saying this, because I like Luque a lot, but this fight should be line to pick him, man. Randy Brown's a good fighter, and he's come a long way, because his fight with Mickey Gall, he was green, even though he fucking looked good in that fight, but his last 2 fights, he looked really fucking good, man. So, and the Nico Price fight too, man. I mean, Brown was winning the fight. I mean, I remember I had Nico Price, I bet Nico Price in that fight. And I mean, Nico Price looked good in that fight. He had his moments for sure before the knockout, but I mean, he got rocked too with that knee. I mean, Luque better watch out for those knees, because Brown has fucking good knees, man. So, and something tells me that Luque could shoot in this fight too, which I wouldn't be surprised, because I know Rory Alves took him down. If he does, he better watch out, man, with those knees. So I'm gonna go with Randy Brown. I'm gonna go with the 3rd round TKO, and I think Brown will, I mean, he'll be in the top 15 after this fight. So yeah, I got Randy Brown. That's my second bet. I put 2 units at plus 160. Who do you got?
Yeah, man, this is a really tough fight to cap for me, just because I kind of feel like it depends how Randy Brown takes Vicente Luque's shots. Like, yeah, that fight against Nico Price, that was super alarming, man, just because we've never seen anybody knocked out that way before. But then again, it is Nico Price, probably pound for pound one of the most powerful guys in the UFC. So if anyone's going to get a finish like that, it'd be Nico Price. And Justin's right, that's been the only time he's been Randy Brown has been knocked out. But if you look at who he's fighting, he's not exactly fighting the biggest power punchers, and historically he hasn't, Mike Graves, Matt Dwyer, Eric Montano, Brian Camozzi, Bilal Muhammad. Love Bilal, but he's not really a power puncher. Mickey Gall, Brian Barberina, Worley Alves. I don't know. None of these guys are as dangerous and powerful on the feet as Vicente Luque. So I don't know. I could see a situation where Vicente Luque just gets on the inside, lands that beautiful left hook of his, and knocks Randy Brown out real easily. The problem for me is, if I wanted to go and bet Vicente Luque at fucking minus 210 or whatever his line is, I actually feel like if Randy Brown doesn't get knocked out here, he's going to knock out Vicente Luque late or win a decision. He's been looking really good. He's got that reach. Justin mentioned it. Luque definitely struggled with the range of Wonder Boy. Of course, Randy Brown is no Wonder Boy, but he's definitely a really good athlete in his prime, great striker. Justin made a lot of good points, man. Luque's been taking so much fucking damage. I agree. I thought Barberina was winning that fight too. And, you can just go and compare the performances, Brian Barberina versus Luque, and then Brian Barberina versus Randy Brown. Of course, MMA math doesn't work, but, Randy Brown beat that boy's ass, dude. And it's crazy. I bet Barberina there big, and Randy Brown just, shit on my night that night. So big props to him. I think Randy Brown's in the best form of his career. He's really coming into his own. The confidence is there too. I don't know if I can pick him though. It's real tough. Betting wise, it's definitely Randy Brown or pass. It's hard to justify betting Luque at -210 here. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to pick Luque, though, via first-round knockout, but Randy Brown can win this fight.
I think he needs to work the body, man. I mean, fucking that front kick that Nico Price hit against Luque, like, dude, he fucking hurt Luque with that front kick. And when have we ever seen Nico Price throw a kick? Like, the guy never throws kicks. Randy Brown's best fucking asset is his kicks, dude. I just hope he doesn't get knocked out, because if he doesn't get knocked out, like I said, I think he's gonna win. But it's not like he hasn't got chin. He's not chin. He's been knocked out one time. We've never seen him rocked in a fight ever besides that. So, if he doesn't get KO'd, man, I think he's gonna win this fight. Like, he has the cardio advantage, 100%. There's no question that's Luque does not have good cardio. The guy gasses every fucking fight. So I got to go with Randy Rude right now. Next fight, you got Jojo Calderwood versus what's her name? Jennifer Maia. Kelvin, who do you got?
Yeah, man, this is a great fight, man. It's real interesting that Joanne Calderwood is taking this fight. She was lined up for a title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. I guess Valentina suffered a injury or something in the fight. She can't fight till like late this year, and Joanne Calderwood apparently was told that if she sits around and waits, then the title shot is not guaranteed for her. So the UFC offered her Jennifer Maia, and she said, yeah, I'll absolutely take that fight, man. And yeah, I mean, maybe you can argue that the motivation isn't the same for this fight, training for Valentina, a champion, and then training for Jennifer Maia, who, barely a top 10 girl. I don't think the motivation is going to lessen for Jojo personally here, though, just because, like, she wants that fight against Valentina. I mean, that's what she was getting ready for. She wants to be the champion. I mean, Jojo's got the mentality of a champion, in my opinion. She's come a long way. I mean, you look back at that Marina Moroz fight, like, she was going through, like, emotional problems, coach problems, and, like, she's completely matured as a person. I think her pairing with John Wood is really what she needs to be in the gym with him. She's training with all those other girls over there too. She's training with Roxanne Modafari, always improving her jiu-jitsu. Her wrestling has come a long way since the beginning of her UFC career. She's looked really fucking good at 125, man. I mean, that 115-pound weight class, she should have never fought there, man. And the reason she fought there for so long is because there wasn't a 125-pound weight class for the longest time. And Joanne Calderwood, she got put right into the division. She's been around since that season of Tough Carla won, been around for a long time, got way more experience than Jennifer Maia. She's got a reach advantage over Jennifer Maia. In my opinion, she is the better striker with more volume, absolutely. I think she's more of a finishing threat as well. I think if anybody's taking anybody down in this fight, it will be Jojo taking down Maia. And I'll be honest, man, this line really fucking shocks me. Like, I personally rate I would line Jojo more like the -230, -240 range here, man. It's just, I feel like she's better everywhere. I'm not really sure what kind of case you can win for Jennifer Maia winning this fight. Like, she's gonna get teep kicked in the stomach all fight. She's gonna get boxed up. Joanne Calderwood has way more volume as well. That's not to say Maia doesn't throw or anything like that. It's just Joanne Calderwood throws more. So yeah, man, I feel like Maia's just gotta make the fight real fucking dirty. Maybe, hold Jojo against the cage and dirty boxer in the clinch. I don't know, man. It's just at range, she's gonna get picked apart bad, and I don't see her taking down Jojo. So I'm all over Jojo here, man. I got -150. You can actually get -140 now. I'm on her for 3 units. I think she gets a clean cut 30-27 decision here, and she will earn back that title shot against Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah, man, you said everything, man. I mean, I didn't really look into this fight that much, but I think JoJo's a pretty good fighter. I don't think Maia's that good at all. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say that. I think that she's no slouch. She's not a jobber. She's paid her dues. She's a veteran in the sport. She has good jiu-jitsu. Good chin. But yeah, JoJo's good, dude. She's technical. The fight with KGB, I mean, I thought KGB was gonna beat her, man. You watch that fight. She looked good in that fight, dude. She definitely won that fight. I mean, KGB said she won, but she didn't. I mean, JoJo 100% won that fight. Good jab. I like JoJo's pressure. She's a good chin, she's good cardio, good striker. She has good grappling. I don't think JoJo is going to go out there and shoot on Maia. I think that she can just win a decision, just fucking bow striking her. So yeah, I'll keep it short. I got Jojo. Speaking of keeping it short, main event, Derek Brunson, Edmen Shabazian. I'm gonna keep this really short. I've been saying this for a long time now, probably for the past year. Probably after the Darren Stewart fight, because we both fucking bet Darren Stewart in that fight. And Darren Stewart looked fucking good. He fucking hurt Shabazian bad in that third round. But after watching Shabazian progress from that fight, I think the guy's the future champ. I think he's really good. I think he's going to be holding the belt within maybe a year, 2 years. I really don't know, man, who's going to beat this guy, dude. This guy's really fucking good. I think he goes out there and smokes Derek Brunson, dude, like legit bad. Um, I wanted to bet him in the distance. I haven't checked the line. The last time I saw it was -165. I 100% think that he's going to finish him, but I'm nervous because I said that fucking Brendan Allen's going to fucking finish Dawkins. And I fucking bet him in the distance, and then he went out there and fucking won a decision. I was like, the fuck? Like, Allen never wins decisions. He's a finisher, and then he fucking goes out there and wins a decision. But then again, Dawkins looked good in that fight. He showed these no slaps. So, but then again, Brunson just has no chin, dude, at all. I mean, the guy he's tough, and he has good grappling for sure. And he's a top 10 guy, I guess. But I mean, Shabazian is just so much fucking better on the feet. And can he take Shabazian down? Like, I don't know, man. I mean, do you think he can? Like, I don't know. I really don't know if he can.
I
Like, straight
mean,
up.
if Brunson tries to go for takedowns, he might end up just like Charles Byrd ended up.
Darren Stewart took him down, right? Or no? He did. No.
No.
Shabazian went for grappling in the fight. Shabazian has a good grappling game, man. I think there's no flaws in this kid's game. I really don't. I mean, the only thing you can say is the fight with Stewart, but he showed a lot of heart, dude, because he got hurt in that third round and was gassed and still fucking got him down. I mean, that showed he was like, what, 20 years old in that fight, dude, or what, 19? I mean, the Brad Tavares fight was really fucking impressive because that's a legit top 10 guy. He went out there and fucking smoked him, dude. And that head kick that he hit, dude, was really nice. I mean, you could even see it coming. His hands are good. Like you said, his elbows. I mean, everything about Shabazian, dude, is fucking future champ. I got Edmen Shabazian. I actually think he's going to do it in like 40 seconds. So there you go. Who do you got?
Yeah, man. Hopefully I don't eat my words here. But Edmen fucking Shabazian is the absolute truth. I am all over him in this fight. Easily my highest owned DraftKings fighter. He is finishing off that parlay. I got Edmen parlayed with Kevin Holland for 4 units to win a little over 3 units. Yeah, man. So I've been so impressed with fucking Edmen, man. So like, if you look early in his career, he's going out there and starching these dudes. Obvious power, good striking. Maybe not the most technical at first, but definitely powerful. And then he makes his UFC debut and shows off a wrestling game that none of us fucking knew about, which, you know, in hindsight, if you're fighting Darren Stewart, that's the game plan you want to have. So that's one mark on the checklist for Edmen. He's got good fight IQ. We knew about the power. Obviously, he can wrestle. I mean, he completely shut down Darren Stewart in those first 2 rounds. And then in that third round, when, you know, he's a little tired, Darren Stewart can stuff the takedowns. Darren Stewart starts landing really fucking big bombs, has this guy in trouble. But some more things Edmen Shabazian shows. He shows toughness, heart, a fucking chin. And not only that, man, after getting hurt multiple times in that round, he's getting takedowns even after he's getting hurt. He ends the fight on top. He gets the decision he absolutely earned. I can't believe that shit was a fucking split. That was an obvious win for Edmen. So saw a lot of, promising things in that fight. And then he fights Charles Byrd. Maybe after he shows his offensive wrestling, my question is, okay, what does he have defensive wrestling? Charles Byrd shoots pretty much immediately. Edmen's able to, stay up, and then he gave him the old Travis Brown elbows, knocked him the fuck out with those. That was super impressive. Another question answered. And then the Jack Marshman fight, he wrapped up a rear naked choke. So the guy's got fucking BJJ as well. And then the last fight, man, he finally steps up, fights a top 15 guy, a vet in Brad Tavares. And, man, he knocks him down. He stays composed. He patiently picks his shots, and he catches him with that fucking beautiful head kick, man. I mean, if you go through and watch Edmen Shabazian's entire career and don't come away with the thought of This guy is a future world champion. I don't know what to tell you, man. And the fact that he's only 22 years old, I mean, I just over the fact of how fucking special this guy is. And who knows, maybe Derek Brunson comes out and ruins the party. Edmen, yeah, he got clocked clean by Darren Sorry. He showed a good chin there, but Derek Brunson is definitely a step up from Darren Stewart when it comes to the realm of KR artist. I mean, I'll give Derek Brunson some credit here. I'm not going to come out and call him a jobber. The guy definitely has some good wins. I mean, he's knocked out tons of good guys. Knocked out Ed Herman, who's on this card. He knocked out Uriah Hall. Knocked out Lyoto Machida. Some good wins, man. And even on a 2-fight win streak, he clearly beat that fucking fraud fairy Elias Theodorou. And then Ian Heinisch fight. So, yeah, he won the Ian Heinisch fight. But, again, his chin, dude, he got rocked right at the beginning of the fight. And then it was kind of an adrenaline dump for me in Heinisch. He slowed down after that. And if you slow down in front of a guy like Derek Brunson, who, he's been around the damn block, man, way more experience than Ian Heinisch, Derek Brunson goes all the way back to the Strikeforce days, man. He's been around the block. So Derek Brunson kind of gave him the old vet lesson there. I don't think that's going to happen here, man. If there's a situation where Edmen Shabazian has Derek hurt like the way Ian did, again, Shabazian showed patience against Brad Tavares. He doesn't just go wildly in for the kill. He knows how to pick his shots. I mean, the guy fights like a fucking 30-year-old vet, and he's only 22. It's so crazy how good this guy is, and I do think he's going to knock out Derek Brunson viciously in the first round. Brunson's been knocked out, 3 times in the UFC. Whitaker got him. Jacare got him. Israel got him. And then even Yoel Romero, he got him way back in the day. Jacare knocked him out in Strikeforce too. This guy's been knocked out a lot, man. The chin is definitely a question, and this guy is going to expose it 100%. Edmen Shabazian, first round KO, 4 units. All over him in DraftKings. Let's fucking go, baby. I'm going to buy some Edmen Shabazian, merchandise if he gets this win for me too. So just so high on the kid.
I'm really curious who they're going to match him up with if he wins. Like, do they rush him and fucking give him Cannonier? Like, dude, I don't know, dude. Because,
shit, man. Give him a Jacare.
I mean, that's an easy win if that happens. But if they don't, I don't know, man. Maybe they'll give him fucking Joker or fucking Till. I don't know. I actually have no idea, man. I mean, the Cannonier fight would be really good because honestly, dude, that's actually fucking not an easy fight for him, man. Cannonier is fucking one of the scariest dudes in the division, dude, by far.
Middleweight is looking good right now, man. There was a while that division was pretty fucking terrible. Like, remember when Luke Rockhold was champ when he just beat Chris Weidman, and it was like Yoel Romero, Jacare, and then the rest of the division. It was pretty shitty for a while, but now we got all these prospects make middleweight great again.
Guru was asking me the other day, I said, who would you pick, Whitaker or Shabazian? Straight up, dude, I think Shabazian would fucking knock him out, dude. I actually think he'd do it in the first round. I like Whitaker, man, but I think Shabazian would fucking kill him. So yeah, bets wise, we'll recap our bets. A bet on Durden and Randy Brown. So far, it's 2 bets. I'm debating if I'm going to bet on Shabazian in the distance, but I don't know if I want to bet minus 165. That's fucking not the best line at all. Yeah, you want to say your bets real quick?
Yeah, man. My big play, 4 units on the parlay of Edmen Shabazian and Kevin Holland. I got 3 units on Jojo Calderwood at minus 150. And I got 2 units on Jonathan Martinez inside the distance plus 210. I had the 3-unit bet on Emmers plus 170 that got canceled. So I'm definitely going to be looking to add a 4th and final play. Right now, Cody Durden and Lando Vannata are easily the 2 fighters on my radar the most. So follow me on Twitter if you want to see who I bet.
Yeah, man, we'll be back next week. I'm looking at the card right now. I mean, damn, dude. Next week has some good fights. What the fuck? How is Alex Munoz plus 225 against fucking Nazareth, dude? What? That line's completely off. I think Nazareth's like no slouch, but I think Munoz is fucking pretty talented.
Hey, there's a gigantic mismatch on that card I'll tell you about after we end this.
There's some good fights. I'm going to be taping it pretty soon. I mean, obviously, like, me and you have been talking about it. I mean, I'm not going to fucking, like, sugarcoat it. I'm 100% betting Omari against Weidman. 100%. I mean, he's minus 110 right now. I feel like the line should be fucking. Oh my god, dude! Like minus 175, dude. Like I think Omari's gonna fucking kill him, dude, in the first round, straight up. Just looking at it, I mean, I like Darren Stewart versus Katoa. That's a fucking good fight. I mean, next week's gonna be fucking good, dude. Gavin Tucker's a fucking bomb, bro. Like Justin James plus 175.
I was looking at that line, man. That line is off.
I like Warrington Turman a lot, dude. I think that kid's really fucking talented, man. Andrew Sanchez, I used to be high on him, bro, but I can't. Ryan fucking James, dude. Oh my god, dude. I love watching that fight, dude, because every time I watch it, I like cry because like I can't believe I fucking bet on a guy like that and he fucking won. I thought he was gonna die straight up in that first round, and then dude, that was crazy. Honestly, the best moment of that whole win was Duke Rufus was like, he retired after that fight, but he trained in Milwaukee for that camp, and so Rufus was head coach, and Rufus I wasn't there. I think he had like Scotty, was it Cushman? I don't know what his like. You know, like
Yeah.
the bald dude that like trains Pettis. I think he's like the striking coach. He was in his corner, and Sarah Kaufman was too, and I think someone else. And after he won that fight, they showed Duke Rufus and some of the people, I think GM3, at like a bar, and they're fucking screaming. Like on the TV, it showed like when Ryan James won, they were fucking like screaming. I like fucking like teared up watching that, dude. I was like, the fuck? It's like James like fucking just got a big win, dude. I mean, Andrew Sanchez
that's crazy.
has beaten good competition and he fucking knocked his ass out in that third round. So, anything you want to say before we go?
Nah, man. I'm just pumped for Saturday. I'm pumped for next week too, man. There's some awesome matchups.
We have Contender Series next week. I just read
Yeah,
here
holy
that
shit,
I'm
man.
excited
On
about that.
this coming Wednesday, right?
Yeah, there's actually a fight that I have looked into a little bit. I'm probably gonna do it right now a little bit, or maybe like this weekend. I'll talk to you about it when we get off of it. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, guys, we'll be back next week. Yeah, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.